Hi everyone. All right, so in this video today we're going to talk about something that's really important. There's so many new subscribers, so I don't know if the majority of you are new to this whole game of law of assumption. So I am here to help you understand exactly what you need to do. So in this video today we're going to talk about, one, you're not fucking doing anything wrong, okay? And two, you have to keep persisting. Hey everyone, it's Kim Velez, Conscious Life and Success Coach, and I'm really happy to be here like always. And before we dive in, if you feel like you need additional support, I have so many different ways to work with me. My website is still under construction, but I have a list or a link below of all the services provided. So you can just click on that list and scroll through and definitely see if something is to your liking. I have email coaching one-on-one. I have paid Facebook groups. I have Zoom groups. And listen, when I jump in, you're getting over 10 years experience, really about 12 at this point. You're also getting really thorough explanations and Q&As and coaching on the spot to really help you if you feel like you need some support and breakthroughs and just really staying focused and being held accountable to keep your mind on track. If not, you are more, listen, everything on my YouTube covers everything, right? So it's a personal decision if you choose to accept help or not, or reach out for help, right? Or support. Okay, so let's talk about this, right? Because there's so many different questions in my Facebook group, the self-concept community, as well as just I see YouTube comments and things like that. So first and foremost, you're not doing anything wrong. So your brain is going to focus on whatever it's focusing on, right? So even if you're focusing on what you don't want, you're still not doing anything wrong. You're just going to manifest an experience of what you don't want. So I know there is so much information out there, and the majority of it is fucking misinformation, okay? But this is what we have to start looking at, is really understanding when you start opening your mind to the world of law of assumption, which is life-changing and really helping you step into your power of your mind. It's really, one, taking responsibility for what you created, understanding that you're training your mind to focus on you, that it isn't about shit outside of you. You're gonna get what you want if you're focusing your mind on what you want. And then it's understanding the process of if this is your pattern in life, and if you have a self-concept that is not favorable to keep and sustain what it is you want, then you need to reprogram that. So I know there's a lot of coaches out there that teach a lot of bullshit, and you really have to look at, you know, speaking on YouTube means nothing, right? It's really about life experience, understanding what this process is, because they've actually implemented it themselves. I can't talk. They've actually implemented it themselves, and they're going through their own transformational experience to really understand all these concepts on a deeper level. You know, we all go through this, right? You're going to accept and receive and understand information from where you are at, from your level of consciousness, your own level of awareness. The other information isn't going to sink in. You're not going to understand it. It's not going to click. So you need to really put this shit into practice for yourself and see what is starting to work for you. Everybody's got a fucking opinion like an asshole. So people are going to share with you from their experience or just what they've heard, and it resonates with them. And even if they haven't practiced it, if it resonates with them, then they will parrot it back to you. So this is why you take information of what makes sense for you and just start applying it in your own life and experiencing it for yourself. There's a lot of people that have a shit ton of limiting beliefs and really will keep people stuck because they're stuck themselves by not knowing the full truth of how powerful they really are. So having said all that, you need to use discernment when receiving information and who you're getting your information from. You know, I personally prefer people who are walking the walk, not just talking the talk. And I know that's hard to kind of figure out sometimes on YouTube because we just show up and do a video and you don't really know. But I think you kind of tell with people's personalities what is their consistent message, and how they're living their lives of what you're aware of is one way to kind of indicate. But you really need to be practicing this stuff yourself. So let's talk about how some people feel like they're doing things wrong because in their mind, they keep assuming that there is no movement. They're not seeing anything in the 3D. And this is where you have to just really understand what is at play. What are these spiritual concepts that you're working with? You are focusing your mind, if that's what you're doing, i.e. your mental diet, right? And you keep redirecting your thoughts on the subject or the area you desire to manifest to focus on the outcome you desire. And you just train yourself to keep going there and going there. So at some point, you'll start to not need to see confirmation in the 3D and really use the 3D to prove to you that something's working and changing. And not everyone's there yet. I get that. No one's going to know that right off the bat. Even if intellectually you understand that, you haven't been that way. So you have to break your habit of needing confirmation from the 3D to believe that it's real and working. And we also have to remember that doubts are going to kick in. I say this all the time. And it's not about, the goal is never about to never have a fucking negative thought or a doubt again, because it's not going to happen. You have a human brain. Like, good fucking luck with that, okay? What you want to do is not go down the doubt fucking dark side, right? You want to nip that shit in the bud and tell your brain, no, we're not doing this today. This is what I want, because this is who I am and this is what I'm getting, what I have, however you want to affirm it. And then you persist in that story. Now, a lot of people, again, they're questioning and they're not trusting that shit is moving in the 3D because they haven't seen it and experienced it with any of their five senses yet. So again, this is where you have to break your own pattern and find different ways for yourself of learning how to say, nope, it's unfolding. Nope, I'm going to get what I want. Nope, it's working no matter what. And really persisting in that. Because a lot of people, you have to understand, when your self-concept keeps saying, if this is like your pattern and where you're at dominantly with your self-concept, saying that, oh, this isn't working, I'm doing something wrong, right? Or nothing's changed yet, like the 3D hasn't shifted yet. How come I'm not seeing evidence, right? Then that tells me, big fucking indicator right there, that your self-concept is in victim state. Your self-concept doesn't believe in your power and really isn't buying fundamentally into everyone as you pushed out, that your inner world is changing and shaping and molding the 3D as you speak. And this is where you have to check that for yourself and come in and correct it for yourself, right? Or you get coaching. You know, this is why we have these programs. I have many great programs to help people sustain it, whether it's weekly or monthly or whatever you want, to keep the movement going so you break through this shit. Because this is what a lot of people do is, it's not working, it's not working, it's not working. And that's what you're assuming. So every time you're thinking that, affirming that, every time you're seeking evidence in the 3D, your subconscious belief is driving your behavior. So your subconscious belief is saying, this shit isn't working. I don't believe it's happening yet. And you're going to do that sometimes. This is okay. We're talking about dominantly. If this is the majority of how you're thinking and feeling, then you need to shift that, because that's going to really delay you manifesting what you want. Or definitely when you start to see some movement, you're going to keep focusing on what isn't showing up. I know I used to do that, and let me fucking tell you, every client that is there in that part of the situation, like where they're at in that process, that's what they keep doing. They keep getting evidence coming in that shit is conforming, but their self-concept is, I don't believe this is working, and they still feel unloved, unwanted, whatever it is, and they don't feel worthy to receive what they want, so they need to see it fucking change up quick, like instantaneously in the 3D, to make them feel all of that and make them feel secure and reassured. And this is, you have to do the opposite. You want to train yourself to be assured or reassured by yourself, and to instantly make yourself feel whatever the way it is, or move to a thought system that is favorable for you, is the version of you, is in the reality where you have what you want already. Because everything in here is what controls out here. And this is the process. This is what people need to go through. So this is why persistence is so important, is you don't give up on what you want. If I have manifested so many things in my life. You know, I've shared a lot on this channel about everything I've gone through. And if I would have given up on all of that stuff, I wouldn't have manifested it. If I didn't believe in myself and know that I was worthy of having this, then I wouldn't have manifested it. If I didn't, or I wouldn't have kept it, I should say, right? Because we can manifest from a state of not worthy. I've done that too, but you don't keep it. So the goal is, you want to get what you want, you want to sustain it unless you decide you no longer desire it, not have it the other way around. Remember, your self-concept is always going to have you seek the evidence in your 3D to support that self-concept. So if you don't feel worthy, if you don't feel deserving of this, then you will always seek evidence to support that version of you. So I know there's a lot of misinformation out there, but you really need to like logically start looking at this, how it makes sense for yourself in your own patterns in life. So if you have patterns of money, there's lots of people that have manifested money, but they don't feel worthy. They feel guilty of it. They feel not deserving of this, right? They have this mindset that's programming in them and they've lost the money. You know, you can get it back because you can manifest anything in, but again, the goal is keeping it, right? Many of you have manifested SPs and X's and people in your life and have experienced, you know, love in your life, but you didn't feel confident enough in your self-worth and value. So then what happens? You manifest the divide over and over and over again. So everything starts with you and how you see yourself. And then the goal is to persist in that. So you reprogram your subconscious mind. You have to keep persisting as well in focusing on what you want and trusting that it doesn't matter that you're not seeing it right now with your five senses or experiencing it with your five senses, that at some point it's going to fucking manifest because you are the operant power and no one has free will in your reality. And you're going to get a lot of mixed shit about that too. So you have to decide what you're going to believe. You know, I think it was probably a year and a half ago or so, I didn't really know how I felt about free will, right? This is what we all go through because we all have been trained to think a certain way, or we've accepted beliefs from different mentors, teachers, coaches, what the fuck ever, right? That we've experienced in our life. And there's messaging, right? So when I started understanding and learning more about this concept of do we have free will or not, like some of it made sense to me, some of it didn't, right? But I just kept learning. I went to Neville. I kept going to Neville and kind of breaking down his things. Now I listened to other coaches that taught Neville, but a lot of those coaches too had their own limiting beliefs. I had limiting beliefs back then too because the consciousness that I had was limited, okay? So when I had my own epiphanies and breakthroughs, because I keep going within and seeking the answers for myself and changing within, then I become privy to a new belief system and new understandings. Now, I know for a fact, based off my own history, but also just what I get to see with, oh my gosh, hundreds, if not thousands of you, all the feedback that I get every single fucking day, that people don't have free will. Everybody does end up conforming. Like it just is. I've just had it happen way too much in my own life that I can't ignore it. It isn't a fucking fluke. So you just have to really be mindful because let people have their own beliefs. It doesn't mean they're right or wrong. It's you deciding what you're choosing to accept as your belief or not, and trusting in it and persisting, knowing at some point it's going to manifest. There is nothing different than you and any other person that had a success story, except those people persisted and they did what they needed to do to overcome the old story. So the new story, the new affirmations, the new reality that they wanted to experience became dominant in their mind, that it conformed in their 3D. So don't fucking give up. Focus on what you want. Stop questioning, or question as least as possible. Or whenever you question and you doubt, redirect your mind to, nope, this is true. Nope, this is true. And then, focus and reinforce that everyone is me pushed out, that there is no free will. People have to conform. And the only free will we have is to think what we want to think. So use your free will to think what the fuck you want to think and focus and start manifesting the life of your fucking dreams, because you can do it. And I know you will do it. So that's the mindset you want to have. You want to be the version of you that has already overcame everything, the version of you that is living this life, and the version of you that knows for certain that this is possible and that this is what will be. And you just have to stick to that story. I don't care what anyone else says to you. You have to reinforce your own mind. You're in charge of your mind. So you decide what you believe in and what feels best for you, and that is what you stick to. So please stop asking over and over, like, it's not the affirmations that are magic, it's just your thinking needs to be from the end of you having what you want, or being in the reality in the version where you have what you desire. So you just need to think and script and write and do whatever the fuck you want, so your mind is focusing dominantly on who you are, having what you want, and what your reality is that you want. And that's what you stick to. And at some point, it will fully conform. And it is already shifting and changing. Even if you don't see it, you have no idea what goes on in other people's minds. You have no idea what is happening behind the scenes and all these different things that are going on that you're just not privy to, but it does not mean shit is not moving. So stop assuming that nothing is changing, because that is what you're going to keep manifesting. All right, so if you found this video helpful, please like, share, and subscribe if you did, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.